A single mother suddenly died at home, and her two daughters chose not to call the police, instead hiding their mother's body in a wooden box in the storage room. Jessie didn't understand why her sister made this choice until she learned that her sister feared they'd be sent to different foster homes.
I'll die before I let them break us up.
Without their mother's protection, this small house had become their last refuge. Spider confided in her childhood friend Julie, saying their mother had overdosed on drugs and they were now pretending everything was normal. Julie worried, knowing that Spider's mother's boyfriend was also an addict who would soon notice something was wrong. Plus, they had to deal with the social worker who visited weekly. Spider fell silent, clearly anxious about these problems too. As night fell, Spider started making dinner with what little food remained in the house.
That's it? You used the whole box?
Explaining to Jessie that they had 6 days until next month's welfare check arrived and needed to make these meager supplies last. Just then, they heard a car engine outside. It was Reese, their mother's boyfriend, looking for her. Spider quickly lied that their mother had just left in someone else's car. Reese got agitated, thinking she'd found a new boyfriend, and demanded to know who it was. Spider, fighting back her fear, said it was a strange woman. Fortunately, Reese didn't suspect anything and drove off, leaving her gasping for breath once she got back inside.
He's gonna keep coming back, Spider.
Well, what do you think, I'm deaf? I heard you the first time.
Though Spider appeared calm on the surface, she really had no idea what to do. Soon they faced an even bigger problem when the social worker texted that she'd be visiting in an hour.
What are we gonna do, Spider?
Mom's reading.
Spider hurried to clean their mother's room with her sister. Then they strategized, planning to tell the social worker their mother was out for a job interview. The social worker soon arrived to find the house neat and orderly, appliances working properly, and the fridge stocked with food. As she took notes and asked about their mother's whereabouts, the sisters stuck to their rehearsed story, successfully avoiding suspicion. With almost no cash left, the sisters could only afford to share one order of fries and a drink when eating out. But right then, Reese found them. He demanded $300, claiming it was interest on money their mother had borrowed. Unable to produce $300, Spider had no choice but to pawn her mother's necklace at the pawn shop, barely scraping together the money. That evening, Spider took the cash to Reese, but once inside his RV, fear overwhelmed her, so she threw down the money and ran. Behind her, she heard Reese shouting that this wasn't over. Back home, Spider grew increasingly upset. If not for their addict mother, the sisters wouldn't be living like this. Angrily, she went to the storage room, crying and kicking the box containing her mother's body. Until she calmed down enough to face her sister. She told Jessie the problem was solved, and that man would never bother them again, though she knew he'd be back tomorrow and would eventually discover their secret. The next day, Spider went alone to the bus station to check ticket prices. Thinking about taking her sister somewhere no one knew them to start fresh. The ticket agent, noticing Spider's young age, asked how old she was.
How old are you, baby?
15.
Whatever troubles you got, it's a lot worse out there. Especially for girls like you.
Assuming she was a runaway and trying to talk her out of it. To avoid complications, Spider grabbed a price list and left the station. That evening, Spider visited Julie's house for dinner. Julie's father was the town sheriff and had been Spider's mother's high school classmate. After days of struggle, Spider finally enjoyed a proper meal, feeling envious as she experienced the warm family atmosphere. After dinner, the sheriff offered to drive Spider home, and though she wanted to refuse, she agreed when he mentioned the town had been unsafe lately. At Spider's house, the sheriff wanted to go inside and say hello to his old classmate. Spider explained her mother had a bank interview early tomorrow morning and was surely all ready as Recep, so it was better not to disturb her. The sheriff didn't insist, but suspicion had already taken root. The next day, the sheriff returned to their house,
JC?
knocking with no answer. Peering through the window, he saw no one inside. He noticed the car parked in the yard. If his old classmate wasn't home, why hadn't she taken the car? He searched the vehicle but found nothing unusual. Then his attention turned to the storage shed nearby, sensing it held some kind of secret.